Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Today is Saturday, April 30th, 2022. Now, I've been asked about a picture. I'm asked about a bunch of pictures just throughout the months and stuff. This particular picture, I don't know, no one's actually mentioned it to me, but it's an interesting picture, and a few months ago, it was bouncing around. It pops up every couple of years. A few months ago, it was bouncing around. So I figured, let me talk about this picture here. Now, it's on IRT number 4 train. So at first, when I'm looking at that picture, I think it's actually a still from like a sitcom or a TV thing or something like that, the way it looks to me. And I originally thought it was from that TV show that used to come out, The Equalizer. But I don't see the HEC TAD tag. Normally the one on the Equalizer, it says RD and HEC TAD. There's a different picture. Just at first glance, I was under that impression. Hold on one second. But it's not that picture. Now, it's on a 4 train. And underneath it is what I thought it said rare. Which should be Rare EA, Escape Artists, Prince, EA, Rare EA, TWB also, the Washington boys, from Washington Houses, the projects uptown. Yeah, a bunch of dudes from up there. But I'm starting to think that might say Rays. I mean, you're going back, God knows. From looking at that RD tag, it's old. It's definitely within the first 3 years of me writing RD. So, in other words, it's not quite yet developed as the RDs that are nowadays. They're more longer and it's different, but you could tell it's the same movement, same style and everything, except the D isn't as pointy and it's not as long. And I'd say if it's a 4 train, which it says a 4 train, but that could be deceiving because you have the 2s, the 5s, the 3s, hell, even 6 trains have wind up on the 4 line. But I've hit all of those except for the 3s, really. The 3s, I went a few times. I didn't like the vibe of the place. You know, the 3-yard uptown in Harlem. Yeah, so I don't think it's definitely not a 3 that I did no 3-yard or nothing like that. So it could honestly be a 4 train that I wrote on as a 4 train. Now the reason I say that is because it's got a lace tag going down the side. If you look at right before the platform, you see L, A, C, and then an E. It's going down. What do they call that? Vertical. And now, I remember I hit a bunch of 4s with lace when he was using that hand style. So I do believe it's a 4 train. And that might even be, that spray paint that we use might not even be spray paint. That might actually be that tar sealer stuff that I was talking about. The 3M tar sealer. Because that shit did come out thick. Like skinny, but like drippy thick. You get me? So that might possibly have been that. And the tar sealer, the 3M tar sealer, is this spray tar that you would spray in the trunk of your car to prevent it from rusting. And I stole the whole mess of that spray paint, or spray tar, I guess would be the proper term for it. They were large cans, and it had a little green little thing around it. It looked like Scotch, you know, like a Scotch kilt, you know, with the bad pipes, like Ronnie Piper. And it would say 3M on it, and it was tar in a can. I stole a bunch of cases of that. I believe at one point I took 9 cases of that. Yeah, the first time I only had 1 case of that, and I stole it from the Winter Garden Theater. That's where the Broadway play Cats was. A lot of my paint in the mid to late 80s came from there. Probably 90-something% of the spray paint came from that place. Now, originally I grabbed 2 cases, and I thought I grabbed 2 semi-flat blacks, 2 cases of flat black spray paint. And one of the cases was tall, so I was under the impression that that was probably them Rust-Oleum 30% more flat blacks, or semi-flat black rather. I didn't like flat black. So that's why I grabbed it. When I opened it, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I sprayed it. I said, oh shit, this is like fucking like rubber or something. This is cool. So I brought it to Lace's attention. We used that. That time it was me, Gary Pinedo, which is Sash, rest in peace. Lace. There was someone else there. I always say that, but I don't remember who it was. A black dude. It might. I don't think it was Skate TC5, because Skate TC5, he chilled for a while with a few of us. I forget who it was. The Skate also wrote Race. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, we used that first case of tar sealer, a case of, it's only like 6 cans in a case or something, so it's not like we're really tearing it down or nothing. But we also had the other case of semi-flat black. We had ink and everything, so under Grand Army Plaza, yeah, you could get a lot of fucking 4 trains under there. And it's a pull-in, pull-out, so it would be, you get there about 10 o'clock in the morning, and you gotta be out of there by about 2:30. 3 o'clock, you could, 3:30, you could even push it to, but the lights are gonna start going on. They're gonna start pulling out the trains from that way. So if you start at that end, you're okay. You start at that end that they're gonna pull them out from, then you're already past that. So if they pull them out, it's no big deal. But if you start from the other end and start going this way, they're going to be putting the lights on and you're writing and shit. And they're going to be getting ready to pull out trains that you're just starting to get to. There's that many trains there for that many hours. Yeah, you could go off on that fucking place. At that point, we were only hitting ceilings. So I believe that that train that we see on the 4 train was the last car, because we're doing inside the train car where people sit down. So I believe that that is the last car of a set of 10 cars. So at that point right there, it looks like we couldn't get into the next door because we didn't have our key. So I probably wrote a tag right there. And then Lace and me probably went out onto the catwalk, because it's a tunnel under Grand Army Plaza, and Lace probably caught that tag going down the side of it. We went over to the next car, climbed back in, and then we were set for another 10 cars to write graffiti on the insides. So that's the only reason I would really write on the outsides like that. That really wasn't my thing. If I was going to write on the outsides, I was going to write on the outsides. I'll do a blockbuster or top to bottom or something like that, you know? Fill in a bubble letter or something, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of tags like that. You'll always see them on what they call the white elephants. You always see RD tags, and they're always like around those areas of the train. And that's just normally because I'm switching from one set of trains to switch to the next set of trains. Other than that, I'm inside the trains writing graffiti. So yeah, that's what I would bet on with that particular picture. I'd say I did that, and that would be early on. Like I said, Grand Army Plaza, man, we was smashing that shit, or when we was getting them fucking 6s also early on. That's before Lace fucked his leg up. So 357 wasn't even around yet. That was probably 84, 85-ish. No, it's probably 357 was around when Lace was doing that stuff. So it's anywhere 84, 85. I wouldn't put it no later than 85. That particular tag with that kind of D on it, yeah. And I think in the 4. Now, if it was a 5 train that switched to a 4, that could be possible too. I would have done that up there in Morris Park, 180th Street, in the 2s and 5s yard. So it could have been that and switched over. But then I normally used ink. As a matter of fact, I only brought ink. So yeah, and Lace was never with me when I did the 2s and 5s. I never hit the 2s and 5s up there with Lace. I might have hit a 2 and 5 somewhere else, or I might be up on a 2 or a 5 with Lace, but it might have been done on a 4 or a 6 or a shuttle. I've even had the shuttles that go from 42nd Street Times Square to 42nd Street Grand Central Station. I had one of them, as I explained in one of my past podcasts. I had one of them, I was doing the top to bottom there in the fucking like Times Square or Grand Central Station. That's the only choice you have. So yeah, they smelled spray paint. They came after me. I got the fuck out of there. And it never got completed. It was going to be an RD top to bottom. I explained before, very similar to how Fritos would do it. I liked how Fritos did his R, how he was able to smear it out like that. Fritos, Bronx writer. So I kind of mimicked his R. And I remember that. But anyway, I never got to finish that. I think I only outlined half the R before I got chased. And it winded up on a 3 line, that shuttle. Yeah, that shuttle winded up on the 3 line. And I think underneath it was Pose, Tyke, and Rhea, or something like that, got it. Or, no, those guys were hitting the 2s and 5s. But it winded up on a 3. Maybe it sat on a 2 and a 5 for a month or something like that, and then switched over to a 3 or whatever. But yeah, I didn't give a fuck on it. I didn't get to finish it. You couldn't even read it. I knew it when I saw the tops of it. You know, the bottoms of the train, that gets smashed quick. When the next time another writer's there writing, it's gone. Especially if you didn't do an outline on it. But the top of it, where the windows are, when they buff it, that I could see and be like, yo, that's that thing. Although I myself have never witnessed it. People have told me. So, yeah, now getting back to that picture, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, 4 line, I believe, yeah, that was done when I was hitting the 4s under Grand Army Plaza at the pull in, pull out. Just for the simple fact that there's a lace tag going down the side of it. I hit the 4s with lace. I hit the 4s real hard with lace. The 4s were smashed. I would try to go through there with white spray paint to just go over all the fucking ink with RD tags and white. But then the ink soaked through the white tags and it looked like beige and it looked nasty and disgusting and it wasn't a smart move. I bet you if I would have thought of Kills, that would have worked. That rubberized oil-based shit, the Kills, that would have been good. But I didn't. I don't even think Kills existed at that point in my life. If it did, I was unaware of it. So, yeah. We winded up on the 4 line only writing on the ceilings. Only. Me, Sash, and Lace only hit the ceilings when we went. We'd get 60 cards, 50 cards, yeah, 60 cards, 70 cards. Yeah, we could get a lot of cards. Yo, we'd be there for about 4 or 5 hours, man. Well, you figure 11, 10:30, 11 to 12 to 1 to 2 to 3, 4 hours we'd be there. Yeah, about 4 hours. And in 4 hours you can ride on a lot of fucking trains, especially when you're in the tunnel. You don't really have to worry about noise. You can kind of move quickly. It's not like you're outdoors and people might see you when they get into the stations and shit like that. You never had those problems. So yeah, you could go through it you could smash a lot in 4 hours. And I believe that was done there, and it all makes sense to me. And there you have it. That's the picture that's in the thumbnail, a little history on it, and done. Now, I actually posted a video before this. I think 54 or 64 people saw it. And I took it down because it was so close to the other one that I just dropped when I got cut off and the battery died. So I figured, you know, it's kind of close and I'm going to spread my videos out a little more and this and that. And plus, it really was kind of redundant and it really didn't get into anything really about graffiti. I was more or less talking about Amber Heard and fucking Johnny Depp. And how that thing is cool that he's stepping up, and how I've been in similar situations with women in my life. And I've also explained how I'm following the Putin thing and not videoing as much, you know, the whole Russia thing. And I took it down, and that's the first time I ever took something down. Like, I never will remove anyone's comments, whether you say I suck shit and I'm a piece of crap, I'll leave it. And yeah, it's the first time I took that down just because I didn't like it. Like, I sat there, I listened to it, and it really was a video that I was just pumping out to pump out a video. And, yeah, there's that. So now I'm starting to think maybe every Wednesday I'll just post a video until I run into the summer. Now, that has not got anything to do with the content. I got shit up in my head, man. I'll tell you, you're talking 40-something years of writing fucking graffiti, yo. I mean, when I was a child, early on, like 82, 83, I'd write graffiti maybe 2-3 times a month. I'd write graffiti in the subways. But by the time like the mid to late 80s came around, yeah, I was going 4 or 5 times a week. You get me? Like by 86, 87, like every fucking day. Like a day did not go by without me dumping out at least a can of spray paint somewhere. Or me writing on a, you know, like, yeah. But as far as it goes with hitting trains, by 86, 87, 88, hell, it could be nightly. Literally every night, every other night, definitely 4 or 5 times a week is normal back then. So you're talking every single week, 4 or 5 times. Until the trains died, when no more. And I got married, and this, that, blah, 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 blah. Got divorced a couple of years later, started right back up again. So there you go with that. It's a lot of fucking graffiti, and like literally every single day almost for fucking decades, yo. So I got so much fucking stories in my head. Honestly, like I was saying, they said, yo, slow down, Rob, you're gonna run out of stories or something in one of my comments. Nah, I won't run out of stories. I mean, some of the things you guys are asking me about, what kind of spray paint caps and shit, like when I start getting intricate like that, forget about it. I could go on. I could keep talking here probably longer than you people will actually sit there and listen. For real, you'll get tired of it. You'll be like, oh, yeah, same old bullshit, blah blah blah. There goes RD again, you know, and whatever. Come and go as you please. You know, ain't no Stockholm syndrome or nothing over here. Yeah, you do as you please in this world. But yeah, I have so much content. I'll probably outpost all you guys listening. Yeah, right. True fucking story. And I'll probably say some nasty, stupid shit that'll piss off a bunch of you and you'll stop subscribing or whatever. But I will still be here talking. And I really don't care. Like I said, that's not my purpose here. Yeah. And I'm really enjoying everything that's going on. I'm trying to wrap up the season because I really haven't been painting, man. I got a lot of people breathing down my throat. Yo, this, that. And, you know, it's really true. Like, I normally paint almost daily or at least 3 times a week, and I haven't been doing that because I've been on here 3 times a week. It's almost like this podcasting is like a succubus. It's like draining all my creativity. Like when I'm done with this and I'm done with work, the last thing I want to do is sit there with a paintbrush and draw. So I'm almost like fiending for this time to end so I could just chill out, enjoy my summer, and paint and go swimming and have a fucking good summer. You know, I really look forward to that. I hunker down for the winter. I don't do much, you know, now that I don't write graffiti and shit like that. So yeah, I got all the time in the world. But when the summer comes around, oh no, I'm like a little fucking groundhog, man. I stick my head out, it's on. Yeah. And with that said, people, enjoy your weekend. It's beautiful fucking weather out there. I'm looking at my little puppy, man. She's getting so old so fast, man. I was looking through pictures, man. I got like 50, 60 something pictures of her when she was a little puppy. And now she's an old girl. I'm going to show it to you real quick before I shut this off. Look at the puppy. Look how old she is. See out my window? Alright, people, y'all take care of yourselves. Bye-bye, puppy.